I like spaceships.
With MakingStarWars.net.
I'm Jason Ward from MakingStarWars.net, and today we're going to talk about some Star Wars news. You can support the channel on YouTube with super chats. You could become a channel member. You could become a Patreon supporter. You can also listen to the show on Spotify with video and audio, YouTube and Apple and all that jazz. Like the video wherever you consume it and all that stuff. I appreciate it. And yeah, so let's look at what we got for news today. And look, this is from Bestman Bulletin. And hey, everybody in the chat, thank you guys for showing up on a different day, on a Saturday. Don't usually do this. I've been sick, got another cough or something. Like whatever. I'm over being sick this year, but I didn't feel good yesterday, so today I'm trying to play a little bit of catch up. And Bestman Bulletin was really cool. We were hanging out yesterday. We were playing Fortnite. And he was like, "Hey, are you going to do a show later?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling that good, so I'm going to push it until, Friday night." And he's like, "Hey, I'll get some articles out so you can use them for the show." I was like, "Thanks, man." So we quit playing Fortnite a little bit early, and then I got the articles. I didn't really feel that good. So now we're doing it on Saturday. So here we are. So and this one he actually put out today. Exclusive Andor season 2 filming at the McLaurin Technological Center. Woking. Star Wars has gone woke again. Here we are, you guys. Man, just when you thought it was over, now they're filming Star Wars in the wokest of places. You can leave Bestman a coffee if you want to support his site. If you read his site, I suggest that you kick him down a little bit every now and then. He has bills too. The second season of the critically acclaimed, this is Bestman, the second season of the critically acclaimed Rogue One, a Star Wars story spinoff series, Andor, has been filming for just over 2 months in the United Kingdom. The series, created by the mastermind behind the Bourne franchise, Tony Gilroy, has been filming exclusively behind the walls of Pinewood Studios, London so far, which is also where the first season was primarily shot. Season 1 of the series started venturing out from Pinewood Studios and began shooting on locations in various parts of England and Scotland a handful of months into principal photography. And now it appears Andor season 2 is finally doing the same. So, yeah, so, basically what he's getting at is it's we're kind of seeing the same old kind of layout that we had before, but there's something I want to actually bring up on the show. If I could just log into my phone, like not being an idiot. Come on. Well, there we go. I did it. I'm a big boy now. Okay. Baymax sent me the actual link to the video, and so it was on Struggle Nation. Is a podcast, a video YouTube podcast that covers all kinds of like TV and stuff. And they were pretty enamored with Andor. Tony Gilroy saw it, and then Tony Gilroy went on their show, and he gave a pretty good interview. He was pretty like forthcoming and stuff. And in that show, they asked like basically when season 2. They kind of essentially got to it, and he said we're following the same schedule as before. So his point was it's the same exact like month to month and release window as far as he knows. He couldn't obviously say like what date Disney's going to release the show. But point being, we should see it pretty much go just like the first time. This one's being made under different conditions, though. So I didn't know what to expect, if it could be different, if it could be sooner. But he says, Gilroy in that interview says Disney could pay to have it done faster. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Disney right now, personally, I think they're looking to space the stuff out more. I don't think they want to throw it all up at the same time. And I think they want to like cut cost a bit. That would be my take on it. And we'll get into a bit more of that in another article here in a minute. But so Bespin goes on to write, the second season of the critically acclaimed spinoff series Andor has been filming for just over 2 months in the United Kingdom. The series, created by the mastermind behind the Bourne franchise, Tony Gilroy, has been filming exclusively behind the walls of Pinewood, London so far, which is also where the first season was primarily shot. Blah, blah, blah. I already read that. It was just yesterday that we got word that Andor was going global and was venturing to Valencia, Spain, soon to shoot various scenes. You're going to see Andor getting chased by bulls. Details on the Valencia shoot are sparse, to say the least, but the casting of extras is well underway in the Spanish city. Though we thought this may be the first on-location shoot for the second season, I can confirm that this is not the case, and that Andor Season 2 is currently filming at the McLaren Technological Center located in Woking, England. Look at those woke-ass race cars. Just look at them. Look at him. I'm just saying, I'm just all about, So, anyways, my last Clicker Cast, the Last of Us podcast co-host, Matt Hudson, was boots on the ground in Woking and managed to snap some images of EE signs pointing towards the McLaren Technological Center. If you're unfamiliar, EE stands for E&E Industries, the production company name being used for Andor, and were seen at various locations during the season 1 shoot. It's worth remembering that this is the name of the production company being used for Andor and not the series code name, which is just like season 1 is Pilgrim. So right here we could see a Bespin Bolentino photo from McLaren. There it is right there. Look at it. Looks like there's some secret UFO tech being manufactured in there. Right here, we can see the E&E Industries sign saying, hey, this is who you work for. Go make Star Wars back there, you weirdos. The McLaren Technological Center may sound familiar to you, as it should, as Andor Season 1 filmed scenes at the location. Notably, it's used as the Coruscant spaceport scene in the 4th episode of Andor's first season, where Cyril Karn was seen returning to the planet, which is also home to Mon Mothma, to live with his mother for the foreseeable future, following the botched events of Ferrix that Karn had spearheaded. So right here, we could see him going home. He's going to go home, eat some cereal with his mom. Given how the McLaren Technological Center was used as the Coruscant spaceport in Andor's first season, you'd probably expect it to be used for the same location in Season 2. I got no confirmation on that, but it feels like the most logical outcome. I don't know how long filming has been taking place at the McLaren Technological Center or how long filming will continue at the location. So if you fancy attempting to get a glimpse at the filming taking place, then I suggest you go sooner, much rather than later. Yeah, there's some like racing shit about to go on there too, so I think it might kind of be closing down. Most likely it's just for that one exposition shot, one shot of Cyril Karn getting back home after Ferrix again or something. Andor Season 2 began filming towards the tail end of November at Pinewood Studios, London, and filming is due to run until August. The second season of Andor is due to release exclusively on Disney Plus during the later half of the year. And then he says you could follow his Bob podcast. Right now they're covering The Last of Us. And you could give him a tip on the old what do you call it there if you want to. So it's just kind of cool to see a little bit about what's going on with Andor Season 2. And yeah, KG asks, so we're getting more Coruscant spaceport. I think that's the takeaway. And so when you get down to it, really cool exclusive, just fun to know kind of a little bit of what's going to happen in Season 2, what we can expect. It's basically going to probably just be an expositional shot of somebody going home from or going to or from Coruscant. And why not use the same location that was familiar from the last season? Makes sense. So, but there we have that one. And then actually we'll go over to this story now. We'll just keep all the Andor stuff together. And then Andor Season 2 reportedly set to film in Valencia, Spain, which this is the article from before it, but whatever. The second season of the critically acclaimed Rogue One, a Star Wars spinoff, Andor, began filming over 2 months at Pinewood Studios. The series, created by Tony Gilroy, did a lot of location shooting for its first season, setting up shop in various parts of England and Scotland. But so far, Season 2 has yet to venture out of from behind the walls of Pinewood. However, it seems that this is about to change. Damn, Bespin Bulletin is getting like a lot of anticipation here. It's like, what's going to happen now? According to Las Provincias, the second season of Andor is gearing up to start shooting relatively soon in Valencia, Spain, and that the series was currently in the process of casting extras. In addition, the Twitter account Perdidos and Hoth, I guess something about Hoth, I don't know what Perdidos is, shared that they had 2 individuals casting scenes from the series in Valencia, adding fuel to the flames that Andor will soon be filming in the city. Some fans have begun speculating on where in the city cameras could get rolling, with the most frequently brought up location being the City of Arts and Science, more specifically, the Hemispheric. There was no evidence pointing towards this location, just merely the design of the Hemispheric and fans comparing it to the use of the Canary Wharf and the what is this, Barbican, where you use an Andor in season 1. Okay, there we go. A lot of words there that are just too smart for me. But that definitely looks cool. I mean, kind of reminds me of a giant robot eyelid. Can't you see it? Like, this is like these 2 frog eyes like blinking. Anyways, though it looks completely unlike the Hemispheric pictured above, there's been a large Andor set being built outdoors at Pinewood for quite some time that I've pictured before. Though the City of Arts and Science in Valencia is very futuristic in its design, I wonder if instead they'll use the old architecture in the city as the designs of the art being built somewhere somewhat reminiscent of Naboo, which was shot in Italy. Yeah, I remember when he very first showed this to me, obviously without casting Andor superimposed on the front of the photo. We were like looking at it, and he's like, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, if I look at the left, it could be Naboo. But when I look over at the right, it looks a little bit like it could be Yavin, right? But when I look at the left, I can't reconcile the left with Yavin. So it's like, what can you do? You know what I mean? This stuff doesn't like, it looks like it's like almost Yavin-esque, but then you look at like those arches and stuff, and I get more of like a Naboo vibe. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's just someplace completely fucking new. Andor season 2 is filming into Andor season 2 is 2 months into filming at Pinewood Studios and is due to film until sometime in August. Following its post-production process, the second season is expected to release in the latter half of the year, exclusively on Disney Plus. Disney Plus. Get your Disney Plus subscription. I wish we got some money from that Disney Plus subscription. I'd be selling that shit to you guys. Like, you guys need Disney Plus, man. No, man, you don't even know what's going on there. Disney Plus. It's really cool, you guys. But we don't get anything from that shit. So, bootleg it, watch it on Disney Plus. I don't give a shit. So, anyways, though, so once again, cool photo, cool pictures from Bespin, and good job on that stuff, Bespin. You fucking maniac, fucking George Costanza, motherfucker. Okay, share this tab instead. So, Ludwig Göransson not scoring The Mandalorian Season 3. The Book of Boba Fett composer to take over. So, and I love that. Here was the funny part. I love that opening scene, or sorry, that opening song from Book of Boba Fett. I could hear that shit in my head now. And, but that was Ludwig, unfortunately. Here's the whole thing, though. Here's something that I want to throw out about this. This could be bad news, but it's not necessarily bad news. Like, is Ludwig still spotting? Now, you're probably thinking, does Ludwig have period panties? And that's not what that means. Spotting is when you look at a recently edited or even unedited piece of video or footage, and then you decide, where does the music come in? Where does it begin? Where do we need music? Where do we not need music? And stuff like that. And so there's a chance that Ludwig is still doing that, or there's a chance he hasn't been doing that for a while, and this person who's taking over has. But Anyways, we'll get into the article here. Ludwig not scoring The Mandalorian season 3. So we're just under a month away from the highly anticipated third season of the hit Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian. Debuts on the streaming service. Okay. As anticipation and momentum swells on the run up to the release, it's been revealed that one of the staples of the series, its composer, will not be returning to score the upcoming third season. You fucking quitter! God damn it, Ludwig. According to Film Music Reporter, this is their scoop, by the way. I already had Bestman Bulletin open, but check out Film Music Reporter if you like film music reporting. Ludwig Göransson, who scored the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, will not score its third season. Despite Göransson not scoring season 3, themes such as its iconic opening will be used with the composer credited. So that wah, wah noise, that'll still be there. That's all you fucking need. The situation is similar to that of the Book of Boba Fett, where Göransson composed the opening and closing themes of the show and had Joseph Shirley compose the series. Surely you must be joking, everyone's saying. Don't call me Shirley. Following his work on Fett, Shirley will be stepping in to take over the scoring duties on The Mandalorian Season 3. Though not reported, it's likely Ludwig was unavailable to score the third season of Mandalorian due to his commitments to Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which released in November, and Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer. I have become the destroyer of worlds, which releases this July. Göransson has also stepped away from scoring Creed 3, the installment of the Rocky spin-off series led by Michael B. Jordan, after scoring the first 2 films. And just as Joseph Shirley is stepping in to compose the score for The Mandalorian Season 3, Shirley is also scoring Creed 3, which, just like Mando, releases next month. So you guys, there's a little bit of synergy here between these 2 men. Personally, I'm disappointed that Göransson will not be composing The Mandalorian Season 3 or Creed 3, as I love his work on both franchises. And I found his recent work on Black Panther Wakanda Forever to be stellar, and his absence will be felt. Outside of its main theme composed by Göransson, the score found in the Book of Boba Fett failed to make an impact on me, and I found the score to be fairly average. So I'm not exactly excited that Joseph Shirley is taking over both projects, but I'm hoping he delivers nonetheless. The Mandalorian Season 3 debuts exclusively on Disney Plus March 1st. So, yeah, that's kind of a bummer. But it might be a good thing. I mean, maybe he's gonna, maybe he's got his feet wet with Book of Boba Fett. I mean, Book of Boba Fett, to be honest with you, it's entertaining, but it also isn't really like A+ Star Wars. It's not the best Star Wars that we can have. And so let's see what Shirley brings to the table is what I say. But it is, a loss. And I keep suggesting, also, what if Göransson's going to be doing the new Lindelof film? What if some of this is him stepping away from television because he's going to be jumping to score the actual films? And I know what people would say to that. They'd say, well, John Williams probably isn't going to be scoring the next Star Wars film. I don't think. You never know. He keeps saying he's going to retire, then doesn't really retire, but who knows? So Al says, if Ludwig is not scoring season 3 and Kiner may not be scoring Bad Batch season 3 till they start animating, if they announce it at Celebration Europe, will Kiner score Ahsoka? I don't know. So far, we haven't seen them offer anything to Kiner in live action. And another thing I'm just going to throw out there too is, and your mind is where my mind is though about Ahsoka, is who's scoring Ahsoka? Is it going to be Göransson? I mean, a person could only do so much in a year with films and stuff. So maybe he's skipping Mando 3 and he's going to jump back in on Ahsoka. Also, he may be heavily involved. He may be like a supervisor for the music still. Like, we don't really totally know the whole story, but we'll have to see. Like, I feel bad for Holt, who did Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, when you just hear the story about how it came about, I feel like that's the person who got kind of like dragged um over the score. And when you look at the how it all came about, it really wasn't her. I don't know how anybody could have made that work, you know? And so I'm hoping that it's good. I'm hoping that people don't notice. I'm hoping that it's been established by the first 2 seasons about what they would do. And Göransson probably looks at it and says, "This is what I would do." And so there could be this might not be as doom and gloom as we think, since this is so established at this point. And yep, Bespin Bulletin. I've always said you are the George Costanza to my Larry David. Just the way it is. Deal with it. So, um, so Bespin is talking to Farm Boy and says, "Indefinite hiatus doesn't mean it's gone for good. It's just unknown when it'll return, but we know when the next episode is." And yeah, that's Bespin's always with us. That's the thing. He's always with us. Even when you're pooping, he's watching. Just so you know. Just so you know. Serenity now. Can't stand ya. All right. Anyways, yeah, it could be a bummer. It might not be. I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. So I'm just gonna be hopeful and positive on that, you know. All right. Now, this is one that makes me laugh because I meant to cover. I actually had a show called Star Wars Visions 2 is releasing, and I didn't even talk about it. So here we are, which says something like I really respect Visions. I really enjoy it. I really want it to continue. Doesn't really make me flip out though. You know, I'm not like that excited, but I will enjoy it. You know, I mean, just to be authentic with you here. And so it's a surprise to be, but most definitely a welcome one. Surprise to Okay, whatever you say, Bespin. Out of nowhere, Disney and Lucasfilm have announced the release date for May 4th for the second volume of Star Wars Visions, the critically acclaimed animated anthology series which saw various animation studios produce standalone short films inspired by the Star Wars franchise. Volume 1, which was released in 2021, saw 7 Japanese animation studios produce a series of short films for the Visions project. But this time around, we'll see short films from various studios located across the globe. Below, you can see a brief rundown of the animated studios working on Visions Volume 2 and a short summary of the various work. So this is what I liked about what Bespin did here is we have all of the studios right here, and then he showed a little picture or something, you know? And it's not like he doesn't like totally like, explain it entirely. Like you won't go, "Oh, I know what that is," but you kind of get a vibe for what they do. So Cartoon Saloon. I like that name. That's a good name. An Irish studio, best known for their animated feature films Song of the Sea, Wolfwalkers, The Breadwinner, and The Secret of Kells, is which we used to call Colored Greens. Collard Greens. No, I'm kidding. Kill. Never mind. In addition to their feature films, Cartoon Saloon has also produced the animated series Puffin' Rock and Skunk Fu. I like their like titles. They have good titles. So better not drop the ball and just call it like the Star Wars episode. So there you go. Punk Robot is an animation studio based in Chile who won an Oscar for their short film Bear Story. The studio currently have a film, Nahul El Libro Magico. Sorry, I butchered that shit. Streaming on Disney. I didn't read this before, so what do you want? But that looks kind of cool. It's like a little like stop motion-y kind of shit. So, which by the way, I gotta say too, just like on a side note, Phil Tippett's movie, that shit is fucking dark, and they should give Phil Tippett one of these. When they do a season 3, I say give one to Phil Tippett and let's let Phil Tippett get fucking crazy, because he is fucking crazy. His shit has like dinosaur robot shitting, and then the shit becomes like the baby's milk, and then the baby shits, and then that fucking feeds Satan and shit like that. It's crazy. Like his movie is fucking nuts. Anyways, the South Korean animation studio behind the hit series such as The Legend of Korra, Mortal Kombat Legends, Scorpion's Revenge, and Voltron, Legendary Defender, Studio Mir, who've also worked on multiple DC titles, such as the Harley Quinn animated series, Young Justice, and The Death of Superman, are on board to produce an episode of Visions. I'm sure this one is bound to excite fans. And look, there she is. Like, I'm a Jedi. I get it. I get it. Triggerfish, an animated studio based in both South Africa and Ireland, are set to produce an episode of Visions Volume 2. The studio is probably best known for its Netflix movie SEAL Team, which starred J.K. Simmons and, ironically, SEAL. Yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from them. All right. D'Art Château is a 2D animated studio based in Japan whose work consists of the Snow Child music video for the R&B pop artist The Weeknd. Also, with the music video for Thinkin', a track by Latin phenomenons Bad Bunny, Anuel AA, and American rapper Future, who totally does not steal writing credits from people. Just in case anybody's wondering, Future does not ever steal writing credits from people I know. He doesn't do that. The Mumbai-based 88 Pictures is also producing an episode for the second volume of Star Wars Visions. The studio is probably best known for its two Netflix series, Rise of the Titans and Fast and the Furious Spy Racers, an animated spin-off to the live-action franchise led by Vin Diesel. And why aren't you talking about that shit, Bespin? Bespin's always like, you gotta watch Fast and the Furious, man. You gotta watch it, dude. Gotta check it out, man. But why am I first only hearing about this fanny packed adventure? Anyways, Studio La Cachette, a Paris-based animation studio best known for working on the hit Netflix series Love, Death, and Robots, along with the Adult Swim series Primal, are slated to produce an episode of the Star Wars anthology series. It looks pretty fucking cool, so kind of down with that. El Guare Studios is a Spain-based animation studio led by Rodrigo Blas, an award-winning writer and director best known for his work on Wall-E, Up, and Finding Nemo. The studio specializes, like he wrote specializes all fucking fancy because he's from Wales, in high-end pre-production for CG animation, and in 2017 released a VR short film, One Morning. Ooh, I haven't seen a VR short film in a while. I should look at that. I wonder if it's downloadable on the Quest. Last and most certainly not least, we have Aardman, the British-based stop-motion animation studio behind world-renowned hit franchises such as Wallace and Gromit, Chicken Run, and Shaun the Sheep. This is without question my most anticipated episode of the series. Yeah, that's stop motion Star Wars is fucking rad. So I'm really excited about that. And you could give Bespin a coffee if you want to support him. So yeah, listen to that dry cough. It's getting me. But what are you talking about, Bespin? I give up Star Wars for Fast and the Furious in a heartbeat. You better watch your mouth, man. You fake ass fan. You know what? Right now, you're turning on the fam. You just don't realize it. You're turning on the family right now. Yeah. You know what? This is a blended family, Bespin Bulletin. We can, in this blended family, we like Fast and the Furious and we like Star Wars. You know, you don't have to choose mom or dad in this divorce, okay? Fuck. Sorry, guys. Sorry, you guys had to see that, but I gotta set them straight sometimes. But yeah. Seth says it's basically Star Wars Visions, but it's themes of love, death, and robots. That's right up my fucking alley right there. Can't lie. Yep. Bat BMX says Saturday stream. This is getting out of hand. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now there's two of them, weekend and weekday streams. So Bespin says I'm turning on the family just like Dom did in Fast 8 of the Furious. Yeah. Our new podcast will be like the Sith and the Furious, and we'll do half Fast and the Furious, half Star Wars. I think that's in our future probably. From Costanza and Larry David. Hawks Holocron says stop motion Star Wars just got here, laugh out loud. Yeah, stop motion Star Wars is fucking coming for you, Hawks Holocrons. But I love it. I really do. I mean, like my dream, if they said, "Hey, Jason, you can make something stupid for Star Wars," I would make a. I thought about this the other day. I was like, don't do a holiday special that's a tribute to that turd. The holiday special from some that shit sucks. Everybody knows that. It does suck. It's only like entertaining because of how bad it is. And it's something that if you tried to replicate in any kind of way would just be cringy and stupid and referential at best. But I would love if we were going to go referential at best, like the old like Rudolph cartoons and like, Frosty the Snowman in the intro and all that kind of shit. Like that would be rad if they did a holiday special like that, for Star Wars. I think that would be the best way to go. I think that would be the most fun. But all right, here we go. Now I'm going to share this tab, and maybe you guys could hear this. Maybe you can't, but I found it funny when the robot reads it. Can you hear it? The robot will not play. The robot refuses to work. So, anyways, there's this article from the Hollywood Reporter. Colin Trevorrow, House of the Dragon writer, Charmaine Degrate team up for, and I feel like every fucking name is throwing me through a loop today, you guys. I apologize if this is all wrong. What do you want me to do? Team for Atlantis at Skydance, okay? And it's like, so we can see him there. Look at him. He's like, yeah, I was going to make Star Wars, but they wouldn't let me fuck it up enough. So I went over and I fucked up Jurassic Park, like really good. Like I made Jurassic Park like the stupidest fucking franchise in the world. So much they retitled it Jurassic World 1 and 2. God, those movies are fucking terrible. I'm sorry. But I tried to watch that last one again. I thought I was in a mood. I'm like, I'm not in a mood. This man is fucking insane. He is insane. Anyways, there's this line here about how they're making Atlantis, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, Degrate has established herself as one of the town's rising writers thanks to buzzy TV work. She was a writer and co-executive producer on House of the Dragon, which is coming off winning a Golden Globe for Best Television Series Drama. And she was a co-executive producer on Amazon's upcoming rock band drama Daisy Jones and the Six, which stars Riley Cow and debuts in March. She also wrote and this is the pertinent part. She also wrote and is co-executive producing the upcoming Star Wars series created by Leslie Headland, The Acolyte. This is her first feature film project. So she is a writer and a co-executive producer on Acolyte. So that's interesting, especially if you liked House of the Dragon. So, but what are you saying here, Bestman? What's Bestman says? Need a Star Wars spin-off series purely about pod racing, led by Vin Diesel, directed by Justin Lin. Yeah, no, honestly, I know you're a little bit kidding. I'm a little bit not kidding. There is room for that. I mean, look at how fucking stupid Star Wars is in some ways, and how stupid the fucking audience can be. And like, let's just meet in the middle and have fun with how stupid it all is. I'd be on board for that. I really, really would. Like, it would be fucking cool. So I'm all about it. Just don't let Colin Trevorrow do it. Mad made one good movie. He can do one. Wait, who can do one? Justin Lin or Colin? Colin made one good movie, and then he proceeded to not do. And here's the thing. Someday that other draft of the Star Wars script will leak, and people will listen to me about this stuff. His first draft was inspired fan fiction. His second draft only got fucking worse. It did not get better. That is the important thing to people go, well, with some more work, it got worse. And that's one of the complicated things about writing and a good idea is you can make it better, but if it's not that great, it just gets worse. The more refined it gets, it's just a polished turd. And that's what that second draft was. So yeah. Bestman says, I shit my pants if it happened. Yeah, it would be fun. I mean, that last episode, it's been a couple weeks now, of Bad Batch was about racing. And it's just like, that show I'm finding to be a disimpassioned kind of hard slog. Like it's just existing for the sake of producing content, like the show. I'm kidding, but kind of like that. And as I'm like watching it, I'm like, the racing stuff is fun. And pod racing is fun. Even people who don't like the Phantom Menace are always like, this racing stuff is fun. And it's just like, if you had racing gangs and shit, like and a heist involved with it and stuff, it'd be totally fucking cool. And Fast and the Furious, after its 8 films, shows how to tap the genre, or 10 films, whatever the fuck it is. There's a lot. But Bestman says, I haven't watched that crap since week 1. The Fast and the Furious cartoon or Bad Batch? What is the take on the Fast and the Furious cartoon? I think you mean the Bad Batch. So what is your take on the Fast and the Furious cartoon? Excuse me, so there's 11 films. Sorry, I consider there to be 11 or 10 films and one epic. So I guess you're a fake fan. No, I'm just kidding. I've only watched like 4 or 5 of them. But when I watch the 4 or 5 of them, I'm like, these are at the superficial level classic Star Wars in a way. I know that's going to get me killed, but it's true. Star Wars is relatively dumb and fun and accessible. It can be classic Star Wars anyways. There's a big difference between Andor and Return of the Jedi, right? And then Fast and the Furious is a little bit closer to that dumb, like popcorn fun. And I think that like a lot of the Fast and the Furious crap piling on it, like in terms of even what I thought about it, I think it's a bit has to do with class. You're showing people that look low class on screen. That's how people look at it, I think. And they're wrong, because it's good popcorn films. They're good popcorn movies. They are stupid, but they are extraordinarily well made for the most part. You know what I mean? At what they do. That's sort of my takeaway. I don't know if I'm a fan, but I see the potential there. I see that when you take away a little bit of that, you just put that in the Star Wars universe, I think you'd have a crowd pleasing series, But forget about it, Ka. All right. Yeah, we laugh when Paul Walker says Ka. It's so fucking funny. But well, I think that's man, I don't believe it. I refuse. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean like I said, I watched him while I was playing video games. Like I put it on the iPad and was just like, I was playing video games, watching it. I'm like, yeah, these are cool. I don't, they don't touch me. They don't touch me at the mythical level. But you know what I mean? Like in terms of just like kinetic energy, there's like a heist, there's a plan, there's a bunch of morons that you care about. That's Star Wars at its core. I mean, and you sometimes you get to see the good ones. Maybe I like the I think it was the third or the fourth one I watched first because they're titled so terribly. But I think I like that one the best so far. The one that I thought was the first one, like Fast and Furious, I think it's the one I've had the most fun with. But Rural Farm Boy says, bust the like button. Yeah, do that. Do that. Like this shit. Or it's gonna become a Fast and the Furious podcast, because they'll probably be like, yo, bro, you use nitro, and I'll be like, yeah, bro. I totally use nitro to make my pod car go faster. So oh yeah, actually, speaking of that, I got video leaked to me from Solo, a Star Wars story of the first round with Han's car, and in the listing and like of the items and stuff, it called it a pod car. And so I have an old video that I was calling a pod car, and all you see is people going, "It's not a pod car, it's a land speeder," and it's like, oh, that's what they were calling it at one point. But it's the fourth one, but chronologically the third. Okay. So yeah. Hey, you're in San Francisco? I used to live there. It's good times. Good place. Cold. Is it cold there? I bet it's cold. But I remember my first night in San Francisco. We had this sort of big house, and I'm just like chilling, and I had just moved a bunch of stuff, and I'm like I'm in the upstairs, and the fucking fog comes in while I have all the windows open. It was just like, oh my god, what the fuck? And I had to go close all the windows. But I do miss San Francisco. If I was rich, I think that's the city I would probably live in for sure. You know, if I had all the money in the world, that's probably where I would stay. Um, but my son was really young then, and he was still in a stroller. We had like one of those. Have you ever seen those like strollers? That's like a tricycle, so the kid could sit in it like in a chair, but they have their hands on it. And they feel like they're riding a tricycle, but it's really a stroller. Man, if you want to talk about some parental anxiety with those hills just go fucking straight down. You're like, got your kid like, if I let go, I'm not a father anymore, you know? So pretty fucking crazy. Baymax says Jersey City is brutal right now. Was negative 15 this morning. Fuck that. That's some bullshit right there. But then again, Joey Buttafuoco. That's where Joey Buttafuoco is from. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but I remember Joey Buttafuoco. That's all I know about Jersey. Revenge Guy says it's not cold, but it's rainy. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I loved it. Rained a lot there when I lived there too. Very cold out here in the east. So the farm boys from he's in the east. Like where? Iran? Pakistan? China? Where are you really from? Did you send that balloon to the United States? Yeah, see, Seth knows. It's the Chinese balloon. Radio controlled by rural farm boy. But anyways, guys, that's our Star Wars news of the week, of the day. I think we're all caught up now. I don't think I forgot anything. There's a picture going around of one of those birds from Ahsoka. And I don't know what the deal with it is. I don't know if it's like posted publicly or whatever, but it's going around, and it's one of those like owl kind of things. And I had somebody ask me if it was real, and I'm not gonna bother checking on it. But the one thing I will say about that photo, I don't know if everybody's seen it. I don't know if it's around, but it has an actual logo that says Ahsoka on it, and that the Convor. And the fact that it has the Ahsoka logo, the stuff that like Bespin Bolton and I have seen from these productions don't have like the show logo on it. It wouldn't. So that makes me think no. And I haven't ever seen that happen before. It doesn't mean I'm right. This is just an estimation without any confirmation. But we saw the Convor owl creatures in Mandalorian, in the Ahsoka episode. You could see it like up there on the thing. So it's a weird one to fake. It's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, it was in Mando. Seth, you should just be right here doing the show. But yeah, so I don't think it's real, but I don't know. And also kind of a who cares, because we know that it's in the show, and we have already seen it before, so it's kind of not really a big story to me. So just to let you guys know where I'm at with it. And I'm not going to take source time to debunk it or to legitimize it, because who cares? Just fucking owl. Stupid owl we've already seen. That's my take. But I'll be back on Monday. If any huge news breaks or anything like that, if any huge news breaks, I'll jump back on, of course. And yeah, so be cool. Leave a comment. Like I said, you can watch the show on YouTube every day. You can subscribe to the show on Spotify and listen to it as a podcast, and jump into video. You can go back and forth. So if your boss won't let you watch video, you could have your earbuds in, but then we show a picture. You can get on your phone real quick, or pop it over to video real quick, and look at what we're talking about. So that's something that you can do. But review us, like our videos on all of the stuff and all that jazz. I appreciate it. And I'll see everybody Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is the plan. And have a good weekend. And, don't get too drunk.
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
It's the end of the show.
Come on, let's go. Hey!
You know you should go.
Come on, let's go. It's not about spaceships.